Okay, what's up everyone? So guys, welcome to a video here. I haven't uploaded a video in a little bit, and I want to get back into that, guys. Time's been ticking, time's been just clicking, going, and it's crazy how much time actually goes when you don't realize it. I feel like it was just the summer. It's already August 25th. Like y'all think about it, it's already August 25th. I felt like we were just beginning the summer. Um, but guys, I hope this summer went for good for everyone. I know my summer was very eventful. Go check out my live videos. Um, During the whole summer, guys, I went through this whole reading thing. I read through the whole Bible, and I'm in the process right now, actually, of reading the Quran. So, guys, so with the whole aspect of reading the whole Bible, there were a lot of verses and sections and chapters I actually wrote down, and um, I wanted to read the whole Bible, just read it the whole Bible. And then as I was reading maybe a chapter or verse, I wanted to highlight the things that I was having a hard time with, things that I was struggling with, things that maybe was just interesting. You know what I'm saying? Just a good little discussion, something to get y'all thinking about. So guys, so lately I got a bunch of content I can make because there is more than 150 different verses or chapters and sections of the Bible that I actually reference here. You know what I'm saying? So here's like the first page. Y'all see all that? So here's like the first page. And then we have page two, we got page three, we got page four, we got page five, we got page six, and then a little bit of page seven. So guys, we have like 7 pages of just a bunch of different verses that I want to talk to you guys about, something that stood out or something that felt off, or something that was just mysterious. So in today's video, guys, I'm gonna be starting that, and again, guys, go watch my videos. There's like 50, I think. I think there's like 50. I mean, I tried to read the Bible in, I think it was like a month and a half. I read the New Testament in about, I think it was like 3 weeks. I think it ended up being exactly 3 weeks. But then the Old Testament took me like about a month. I read the Old Testament a month, and then about 3 weeks of the New Testament. So it was about like a month and a half of reading the whole Bible, guys. And guys, go check out day 8. Day 8 was absolutely crazy. Y'all go check it out. When I hit Chronicles, guys, woo, that reading went, the whole trajectory, the whole plan, you know what I'm saying? The whole challenge was just, it went uphill. Like I feel like I was struggling. But guys, so to start off here, this is video 1, and I don't even know how to talk this. It's just referencing chapters and verses. That's what I wrote, but the title for this is just reflecting the Bible, or maybe reflecting what I read in the Bible. Maybe that's what the title will be, actually. Reflecting what I read in the Bible. So the first verse I actually wrote down was Genesis 18:22 to 33. So I'm going to roll to that right now, and I'm going to try and read this thing to y'all. And then I want to talk a little bit about it. I don't exactly know why I wrote it down, but maybe something will pop up as I'm reading here. So here it is. So Genesis 18:22 to 33, right? 22 to 33. So it says Abraham intercedes for Sodom. Huh, interesting. Okay, so let's read this here. So the men turned from there and went towards Sodom, but Abraham stood before the Lord. Then Abraham drew near and said, "Will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you then sweep them away and place them and not spare it for the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to put the righteous to death with the wicked, so that the righteous fare as the wicked. Far be that from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do what is just?" And the Lord said, if I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will spare the whole place for the sake. Abraham answered and said, "Behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord, I who am but dust, ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking, will you destroy the whole city for the lack of 5? And he said, I will not destroy. If I find 45 there, again he spoke to him there and said, suppose 40 are found there, he answered. For the sake of 40, I will not do it. Then he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there, he answered. I will not do it if I find 30 there. He said, behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. And he answered, for the sake of 20, I will not destroy it. Then he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry. I speak again, but this once. Suppose 10 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. And the Lord went his way when he had finished speaking to Abram, and Abraham returned to his place. So I'm not exactly sure why I wrote this thing down, but there's some things here that are interesting here. So you have Abraham meeting with God, right? Like it seems like he's directly talking to God in some degree, because Abraham is requesting, Abraham is asking, Abraham is seeking answers, and it seems like God is just there to answer right away. So in some degree, Abraham is in the presence of God here. And he's asking some very interesting questions here. Like these are genuine questions. So basically, the backstory here is you have these three certain individuals who meet Abraham at his place, and Abraham ends up actually feeding them and sheltering them, and the hospitality of Abraham, like he takes care of these three strangers, basically three strangers, and then the three strangers tell Abraham that they're going to have a son and X, Y, and Z, right? So this story that is happening right here is actually Lot is being rescued because Lot is in a dangerous place. Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot is living within the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, and these people are wicked to some degree. I don't know exactly. It seems like there's some interesting thing happening now. There's some demonic things happening in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, and basically, God or these three guys were sent to actually, I'm not sure if they're sent to give a specific message to Abraham and give him that God's gonna promise you, given the promise that he's gonna have a son and make him a great nation. Or I don't know if the reason they were here is because they were here, they were sent to destroy and to punish Sodom and Gomorrah. But beside the point, you have this time period where Abraham ends up talking with the Lord, and he is asking God, like, God, if there are 50 people, if you find 50 people, if the guys you sent find 50 righteous people in the city that you're about to send fire and destroy, are you going to destroy the whole thing even though there are 50 righteous people? And basically God's like, no, I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Abram's like, you're righteous, right? Like you're just. You're not gonna. The righteous and the wicked are not gonna. You're not gonna punish them together. You know what I'm saying? So then it kind of, Abram keeps talking and it keeps talking and he keeps going down the list and down. He keeps decreasing people. And the interesting thing about it is, as you go here, then there's chapter 19 here. So this is Genesis 18:22 to 33. And then chapter 19, guys, you have actually Lot being rescued by these three guys. And we're going to be talking about that later here, probably tomorrow. But chapter 19 is when Lot is rescued. So in all conclusion, you have Abraham saying, if there's 45, will you destroy? 30, 35, not 35. I mean 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. You know what I'm saying? He goes all the way down to 10. He's like, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. And the Lord went his way. So God's like, if I find 10 righteous people that are righteous and they're after my heart, and you people of my heart, I'm not going to destroy this people, right? So even 10 people, like God's like, I'm not going to do it. But you know what happens here? God ends up destroying Sodom and Gomorrah. And then when you go back to this situation, or this event that's happening where God's talking to Abraham and kind of interceding. He's interceding for the righteous people within the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. And consequently, you have Lot that lives there, with his family. So it seems like God did not find more than 10 people here. It seems like there weren't more than 10 people that were in the city, because it seems like, I think, according to the Bible, I only Lot was the guy that got saved, him and his family, and whatever degree that is. But the fact, like, God is willing to save the righteous, even though, like, evil is ruling. Like the whole thing is like God's not gonna punish the righteous with the wicked, right? He's gonna show his mercy. Um he's gonna show his mercy to those people, to the righteous. But like, I just like how Abraham is just here, just giving a request to God, and just simply just asking, like, God, like, are you how just are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the ruler, you are the God, you're the Almighty. Like, how, like, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but concerning righteous people, like, how do you view punishment between the righteous and the evil, right? Are you gonna punish both of them at the same time, or both of them in the same degree, or are you gonna rescue? You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting that in the end of it, Sodom and Gomorrah do get destroyed. So you come to this conclusion that there weren't more than 10 people who were righteous in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why God destroyed it. So maybe that's why I wrote this thing down, because it was just interesting how Abraham is just talking to God here. I just find it fascinating. Um, it says, verse 1, so the man turned from there and went towards Sodom, but Abraham stood before the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's talking about the Lord here. Like, he's talking to the Lord. I just find that super cool. So I guess video 1 is kind of just explaining what's happening here. But I think this story is super cool. I think it is. I think it kind of, the more we understand who God is and how he views the righteous and the wicked, I think the more we can revere his judgment. We can view his judgment as righteous, right? Um, and I just think it's a super cool that through all this, right, through all this wicked and evil, like, God has that heart where he's not gonna allow the wicked to, or he's not gonna allow the righteous to be punished, but he also gonna have that judgment for the wicked. Like, the wicked are not gonna get away with it, right? But the righteous are not gonna be condemned. The righteous are not gonna they're not gonna be there's no judgment as the wicked, right? There's a distinction between the two. So I guess that's Genesis 18, guys, 22 to 33. Make sure y'all go read it. Go read it. Go see what it says. Try and get something out of it. I just think it's cool, the little story of Abraham and God talking. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, guys. Like I told y'all, there's so much references I wrote down here that I'm gonna have a lot of videos to make. So this is only video 1. So make sure y'all tune in for the rest of it. There's a lot more interesting ones in here too. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.